Alright, what's up, guys? So, today's Warzone live stream, I gotta be honest with you guys, a lot of hackers, very bad connection with the servers. The Warzone just felt laggy. One thing I don't like is when an enemy is shooting at you, and the moment they pin you and they start hitting you, the hit marker, you get stuck, and there's really nothing you could do. And I don't know if that's the overpressured perk, overpressured attachment, or if it's just hacking. So it was pretty bad. So, and some people were calling out the hackers too. So Activision's got to do something about that, because if we want to enjoy this game, we want to enjoy it in a fair fashion. We don't want to land on the map and be beamed by hackers. You know, they have no business to be on the map. Now, another reason we're on the map with these hackers is because we're that good at the game. The hackers are so bad at the game that they have to hack. And even when they have to hack, you do know that they have to try to keep themselves upright, because even though they're hacking, they still have a chance of dying. So that's more of a stress level, in my opinion, because they're running around, they have to act like they're superheroes, but in all reality, they're just trying to hold up themselves. That's really what it comes down to. So it's a bad thing. It really is. So now what we have to do is just keep reporting these people, addressing the issue, because the map is a good map. It's just when the hackers are there, they ruin our experience, and that's what I think they're going to do. Again, they're going to ruin our experience over and over again. And so, yeah, hacking is a huge problem. It is something that needs to be addressed, because it's just really bad, really bad. As of right now, I enjoy playing the map, but when there's hackers on the map, I can't stand them, because there's two senses of the hacking. It's one sense is that it's hard to shoot them, and I don't know if that's just the servers, but sometimes it just feels like their movement is like choppy, where 1 second they're moving, the next second they're like 20 feet away, and it's like you can't even distinguish what's going on. It's almost as if the servers are broken, and that's something that I think can be the issue, in my opinion, is the servers can be broken to some extent. And so with that being said, we are literally trying to enjoy this Warzone, but we also know this Warzone has this issue with the connections, with the hacking. And hopefully they can fix something on that, because I do look forward to enjoying Warzone without all these issues. You know, I really do enjoy the Warzone, to be honest with you. The old OG Warzone will always be the best, because when we landed on that one, I think before the FOV option on console, I think it was more fluid, more smooth, even though it was a slower experience. And we were just used to that at the time, and I think the graphics were just better. If you go into MW 2019 and you play Ground War, you play some of the maps on there that are, you know, that were in the Warzone, I just think the game just, Infinity Ward just made the game look really, really good. And I think that's something that we need right now, because the Treyarch team is not making everything look as military as it was when MW 2019 came out. Guns in the ground, it felt good, it sounded good. Matter of fact, I might jump into that game one of these live streams, just to play the OG 2019 Modern Warfare. We need another game like that. We need the sequel with the same engine but more refined tuning. That's what we need, because right now Warzone's fun, don't get me wrong, but we're really losing that concept of how good Modern Warfare 2019 was at its time. I mean, when that came out, we were just blown away, and that was PS4 Pro, Xbox One X era, you know what I mean? So even in that time, when I was playing on my Xbox One X, I was like, wow, this is really good. And then when they're like, oh, the Series X is coming out, and it's like, yeah. So Series X comes out, the PlayStation 5 comes out, and all the hype that these YouTubers threw at us with the Unreal Engine 5 and, you know, the actual Unreal Engine 5 videos, all that stuff just played a role in trying to get us to, you know, really buy into it. And we were excited. I camped out for the console. That's what got me my channel up to the number it's at. But after all that happened, the games that started rolling out just didn't feel anymore like anything next gen that we were promised. There was a little sprinkle here, a little bit of particles, colors here and there, and now we're starting to finally get something. Like, you know, the new Metal Gear game that's coming out. My wife is going to be like glued onto watching that game. When I've never played that game anyway, so we're going to be glued watching that game because it's going to be with the next gen graphics. Death Stranding 2 is going to be really cool, but at the same time, it's not Call of Duty. So Call of Duty, they have to get rid of all these kitty skins. That's another thing that's ruining the game, because I can't land on the Warzone and feel like it's the same Warzone when you have Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. I would say leave the Terminator, leave stuff that has military concepts, you know what I mean, like the Terminator, Endoskeleton, T-1000. Keep that on the game because that would look cool with the Warzone. But when it comes to like Ninja Turtles or cartoon characters, all that sorts, I mean, yeah, fine. If you want to add all that stuff, I just don't feel like it goes together. I don't feel like it goes together. So that's something that we have to understand. And other than that, yeah, I like the Warzone. I like landing on the map with my friends. Shout out to Drew Usher and the whole team, everybody that lands on the map with us. Shout out to all the names in the community. You know, all the people that stop by every now and then just to say, hey, what's up, man? What's up, man? Thank you. I appreciate that. So what we need to understand now is that when we're dealing with this new Warzone, you know, they're going to be opening up the train station. They're going to be opening up the stadium. The bunkers are going to hopefully open up soon. And if they do, okay, now that's something that I think is going to bring in a new feeling to the game. So, yeah, I'm excited about these things. I really am. Like, overall, but they got to have a good story. They got to have a good story, because if they're not going to have a good story for Season 3, Reloaded, why everything's opening up, you know, like, what's the point of all this? Like, I think the laziness is starting to settle in. You know, with AI, it makes everything more lazy. It's not exciting. It doesn't sound like it's the real voices. When you go into like Modern Warfare 2019 and you hear like real voices talking in the game, that's what they need. They need that back, because that's what brings the excitement into the game. They got to bring that back. That's a huge problem. If they're not bringing that stuff into the game, then what's happening is it's ruining the experience, in my opinion. You know, it's ruining the experience. So, with that being said, you know, when you have the old actors' voices dubbed into the game just is more immersive. It sounds better. Just go back to the Modern Warfare 2019. When you hear the guy talking, or, you know, the other people talking, a real voice makes a difference from AI. AI is far from trying to replicate reality, and it never will, because in all reality, AI does not have a heart. It does not have critical thinking. All it has is computing units that are generated by a big systematic. That's what it is, okay? Someone's controlling everything. So, enough of that. Let's get back to reality, because we need real results. We need real stats. We need real skills, real performance, not this AI stuff. This AI stuff is going to ruin gaming, in my opinion. It's going to completely ruin gaming as a whole, in my opinion. So, it's just going to ruin the gaming. just going to ruin the gaming. AI is headed in the wrong direction, and we have to be aware of that. We have to talk about that. That's something very important, because AI just doesn't feel as good as it's rolling out. And to all the people that are tuning into AI, that are listening to AI for their advice, listen to your heart, man. Listen to your own self-esteem, your own conscience. Listen to the spirit inside of you, you know, the burning fire inside of you that comes alive. Listen to your gut feeling. Don't listen to AI. You know, you could tell if something is good, something is bad, if someone is good or evil. You could tell just by the way they carry themselves. You know, don't rely on a system, because it's not going to give you your own critical thinking. It's going to give you what it wants you to think, so that way it can control you. And, you know, like right now in other countries, they have people that are actually marrying robots. And these robots aren't just, you know, AI robot looking characters. They're actually going all out to make these robots look like humans, which is kind of scary, because these robots are not just designed to, you know, interact with humans. They're designed to do everything a human wants to do with them. And that's the disgusting part, because we've fallen so far away from like the reality of morality, God, and, you know, love thy neighbor as yourself, that kind of thing. We've become into such a king of the mountain society, you know, take as much as you can take, you know. I am shocked at the day we're living in today. And, you know, I'm older now, I'm 45, so back in the day, I had more energy, more excitement for everything, because we were looking for the next great step, the great leap. And now everything is just becoming more techized, AI techized. We're literally being watched by AI. We're being watched by cameras. We're being recorded by AI. Whatever's on our phones, all that stuff, everything's being documented. They're creating like an encyclopedia of our lives. You know, what we tune into, what are our values, our morals. Every time you go and sign up for any kind of social media, they use that information to see, you know, what is your interest, what is your hobbies, what is your religion, what is your background, what do you do for work, all that kind of stuff. So I choose to just try to stay low key from all that stuff, because I don't need a bunch of people, you know, targeting where my heart and my values are. That's between me, God, my family, and you guys already know where my values are, because deep down I want to stay with integrity, loyal, morality. I don't want to be the same as everybody else, okay? I want to stand out. I want to be different. And so for me to do that, I have to stay true to myself, you know? That's really what it comes down to. And to God, and to Jesus, the one that died for all of us, so we can have eternal life if we believe and we accept him in our lives. You know, there really is a hell. It doesn't make sense for people that are so evil and so sadistic and so diabolic and so possessed to have the option to go to heaven if they don't repent, if they don't turn from their ways. And even if they, you know, I do believe that God sees things, and if someone is so cruel and so wicked that they can't be forgiven, then I believe that. I believe that when you do someone that did nothing wrong, that kind of harm, I do believe that. But we'll go back to the whole Warzone of things. Yeah, I'm enjoying the map. I'm not enjoying the inconsistencies with the. Today was a day of hackers. There was a lot of hackers on the map, and you could tell. I reported quite a few of them because they were basically ruining the gaming experience, in my opinion. They ruined my gaming experience, so I reported quite a few of them. And so now, it's one of those things where I want to enjoy the game, and I want to enjoy the game, and it's hard to enjoy the game. This is the time where you start to feel like you're getting slapped all the time. You're getting your shit handed to you. Excuse my language. And I think that's what's going on right now. Is the game is just so broken that they have to have someone work at 24/7, 7 days a week in the banning department, because these hackers have to be banned. They're a huge issue in the game, and they're ruining the gaming experience already, guys. So, with that being said, literally, we are on the verge of just trying to enjoy Warzone and knowing that the Warzone is just a mess right now. It's an absolute mess when it comes to the hackers ruining the gaming experience. So, yeah, I said it. It's just a complete mess. And it's only a matter of time before more and more people start to complain about it. So, with that being said, thank you for tuning in. Subscribe, comment, hit the like button. I will see you guys tomorrow or after the live stream.